Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? It's me, it's Keenan. We're back. We're in the building for another episode of the Line in the Sands podcast. It's Tuesday, it's wrestling time. I got my guy, Cool McCain, celebrating his Denver Nuggets on the NBA title. Cool, what is going on?
It's been a great day.
Yeah, I know you're good. You know, I'm sure you got the championship belt somewhere around. But yeah, let's get into the nitty gritty of things.
I mean, since you asked and everything.
Big Goldie was made an appearance tonight.
Yes, man.
Before we get into things, it looks like on Raw and SmackDown, looks like both women's champion finally have their own belt. No more Raw on SmackDown and SmackDown on Raw. Pretty much Asuka has a women's title just in white that look like Roman's. And Rhea Ripley has a belt that looks like Seth. I like Rhea's belt though, I ain't gonna lie. That white does kind of pop, but I still don't like the belt. It kind of pops on her because it's white. Maybe that's what's standing out a little bit, but the belt looks good on her. Your thoughts on the new women's belts?
Congratulations, WWE. How much less original can you be? Hey, let's make a women's belt that looks just like the men's belt on the show, because that means they're equal. I really don't have much else to say about that at the moment, but let's just say we'll be talking about how I feel about all the championship belts here in a little bit.
And so they finally have a women's heavyweight championship on Raw, and I guess this the women's universal. I guess if you want to say it like that, because pretty much is the same belt. Just they gave the women's white belt, the guys got black. I mean, y'all, I could have put some more originality to it, like been creative about it.
I will say this: if you take our logo that's up in the corner, put a strap on it, and put side panels, it looks better to me.
Sports Empire Network belt. I like it. That'd be dope. They would make a better belt than what they had. I just feel like it was no creativity. Just take the logo and stick it in the middle. There's your belt, y'all. So and put some bling around
Let's
it.
say Big Goldie and Desecrator, right? It looks cool, but still, you just took Big Goldie and Desecrator. You didn't try to do anything unique about it.
No, whatsoever. But on Raw, we did get some qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank, which I'll go over as well. Corbin is another story. I don't know why they made Corbin come back, because he's still a bum. Still losing. Cody is fighting Dominic. Don't know why. Okay. Thoughts on Cody? It's just like, why? Why is he fighting Dominic for why?
So, in order to make us try to make sense of Cody fighting Dominic, their story is Dominic slapped Cody, so now Cody has to get his lick back. We're not talking about two middle schoolers or elementary schoolers in the playground. We're talking about professional wrestling. And that's the best storyline you have for Cody right now. I'm going to get my lick back against Dominic by having a match with him in Night of Champions. Again, congratulations on your creativity.
Yeah, so we had Becky Lynch versus Chelsea Green. Of course, you had Trish Stratus and Zodi Stark looking on. Becky Lynch wins this match, of course. They're not going to let Chelsea Green beat no Becky Lynch. I mean, Becky fumbled her promo, but it went well. I mean, it is what it is. But we had a good match between Damian Priest and Matt Riddle for the qualifier. Damian Priest did win that match, so he's in the Money in the Bank. We also had Ricochet and Bronson Reed. That was a solid match as well. Bronson Reed by disqualification, so he wins that. I'm glad to see they're using Ricochet and not just having him sitting there, because Ricochet is a whole talent. Y'all got this man in catering eating cheesecake. Like, he should be on TV. Bronson Reed should be on TV. Give me Bronson Reed and Lashley. Take my money. Just go ahead and take it. Here you go. Don't be wearing that Denver hat now. We all know you're he's a Laker fan.
John, never that, my man. Never, ever in my life would I wear anything with that cursed purple and gold on it.
Again, Ricochet still got one of the coolest entrances, which I do agree. Again, I just think they need to. What's going on, Con? You know, cool is everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Then you got Raquel Rodriguez and Shayna Baszler. As y'all all know, Baszler and Ronda Rousey are the tag team champs. Of course, Shayna Baszler beats Raquel. I mean, Raw was okay. You had Chad Gable versus Eric. That match was just whack. Apparently, shoosh. They getting rid of the Maxim and the Maxim models. I think they're gonna give them something different, good. You know, have Otis go
there
whatever.
Was nowhere else to go. Yeah, there was nowhere else to go with that.
Nope.
Dang.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know what storyline they making, but they got KO snapping. Like, you gonna have high blood pressure and have a damn heart attack the way you snapping.
You know what's gonna happen. You know where this is going. To the inevitable end.
Yep. But Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wins that match. And then you had this is when Cody challenged Dominic there, and of course their match is going to be at Money in the Bank. Raw was okay. I mean, it's Raw. Wasn't expecting nothing from Raw in those 3 hours. But
you're being nice.
Yeah, the Riddle and Damian Priest match was pretty good, and so was Ricochet and Bronson Reed. Ricochet always put on the show, so I'm not too mad about that. But Money in the Bank's getting set up. All the qualifiers are already done. We're going to see Seth and Finn Balor. What do you think about that match coming up?
So, I like the promo, but Seth Rollins hasn't cut a horrible promo in like 10 years, right? Seth Rollins promos are always money. Like, you can feel how you want about Seth Rollins or his new gimmick or what's going on with him. The promos are always money. I like where he called Finn a B at the end. I like how he basically said, which Finn are you going to bring? So this is a perfect situation where if they didn't waste the Demon in a match with Edge, that Finn could have brought the Demon and we really could have said, oh, maybe Finn can win. But the Demon just got beat by 75-year-old Edge. Right? So, long-term storytelling, WWE. You don't know anything about that. But I want to say one thing that I do like that's been consistent on Raw that some people may not catch. Every time they call Damian Priest the punishment of the Judgment Day, it makes me chuckle. And you know why, Key?
Why?
Just for those who may not know, Damian Priest's name before he came to WWE was Punishment Martinez.
Oh my goodness, I never knew that.
So every time they say Punishment of the Judgment Day, they're kind of bringing up his old character. So I love it. It makes me chuckle.
Not Punishment Martinez. They couldn't think of a better.
That was his name. Before he came to WWE, that was his name.
That was a horrible name, by the way. I'm so glad his name was Damian Priest. SmackDown, still the hottest storyline right now that we have on WWE right now is the Bloodline. We had Jimmy and Jey Uso. Jimmy was not on SmackDown, but Jey was. Paul Heyman was feeding him with all these stuff, talking about some, well, if you do this and this, you know, we can groom you for the Bloodline and everything else. So we're going to put you in the match with Austin Theory for the U.S. title. And, you know, Heyman. So Jay was like, give me a minute. I'll think about it. Long story short, match came out. Match was going well. Here comes Jimmy. Super kicks Jay. Solo comes out, gives him a spike. He tried to spike his brother, but Jay stopped him. Again, Jay is always put in the middle. And Austin Theory rolls up Jay. 1, 2, 3. Still don't get no answer. So, is Jay going to ride with Roman, or is he going to ride with Jimmy?
So I like a little storyline that's simmering under the surface that people aren't paying attention to right now. So you've got Pretty Deadly and Austin Theory kind of have a little, you know, alliance going on. So I like where that could possibly go, because I could see them as the perfect little dastardly underlings for Austin Theory in the future. So that's a nice little under the radar bubbling storyline. To those of us who kind of like the long-term storytelling, I'm sure WWE is going to botch it, but it could be interesting if they accidentally make a good storyline out of this. As far as the bloodline, I like this being drug out, but we need new introductions. We got Ava Raine, you know, Tamina's somewhere around and catering, chilling, finding out new outfits to wear. You know, we've got Zion Quinn, who is of Samoan descent, so he could be introduced into the storyline. There's other ways to go, and I feel like we're not going to see the end of the bloodline, but I feel like Jimmy and Jay are going to be out. Now, here's the interesting question, and this is a way I just thought after after Friday. Maybe Jimmy is on one side, Jay is on a different side, and then there's the bloodline. And the only connecting fiber is them wanting to get back at the bloodline. But they have a lot of beef going on between them because Jimmy's always getting Jay stuck in the middle of things. What I'd also like to see is Jay out this week with his Nobody's BITCH shirt. We need that shirt back. We demand that shirt back so that I may purchase it.
I mean, it's on the shop. I'm Nobody's bitch. They still got it up there.
Yeah, but I wanted to wear it so that it's relevant.
Yeah. I could have sworn he wore it the next day. Like when he first kicked Roman. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did wear it. But yeah, we need that. We need that shirt back. I'm Nobody's bitch.
He's wearing the We the Ones shirt still. Well, he shouldn't be anymore, but.
So Austin Theory defeats Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso coming in, trying to super kick Austin Theory. Didn't work. He hit Jay instead. For the 1, 2, 3.
That was Solo's fault too.
Right. Solo tried to come in and hit Jimmy with the spike, but Jay was like, no. We're not doing this. Santo Escobar defeated Mustafa Ali. He's in the Money in the Bank qualifier. Again, we had so it looks like Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey for the NXT champs in a brawl. Flair and Isla Dawn to a match. They challenged them. My bad. So I think what's going to happen is, are they going to start merging them again where they can be on any show? I think I heard that.
Yes, that's what they're doing, yeah. So a much needed development. About time that you should never introduce NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. You call the women up, the best three teams in the NXT Women's Division are all now on Raw or SmackDown. So why would you even do tag team belts for the women? This doesn't make sense.
So it's good because then they get to travel and be on the shows and
Mm-hmm.
new feuds, new. So I do like that. Then you have Bailey defeating Mi Chin, so she she qualifies for the Money in the Bank. Then we got a new feud going on. I think AJ Styles and Karrion Kross are gonna start feuding.
TikTok.
So I think next week it's Ninchin and AJ versus Scarlett and Karrion Kross. So are we going to see Scarlett in the ring, or are they just going to be the guys? But I know Charlotte's
Scarlett's wrestled
a wrestler
before.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. It might be time to actually get her involved in the women's division because, I mean, I'm tired of seeing Charlotte and Bianca and Asuka. We want to see some different people. Nothing wrong with those people, but like in the men's, for instance, you'll have someone be champ for a while. Like Roman Reigns, when he ends up losing, he's not going to come back 2 months later and be like, Roman Reigns' return, give me a championship match.
Mm-hmm.
But let me stop because it's already taken. Let me stop.
Oh, look, perfect segue to what I'm about to rant about. Asuka was presented with her new title. And guess who comes back after 2 long months? Probably, her and Andrade is hanging out, and she's probably like, okay, I'm bored now, let's go. She comes back 2 months later and inserts her ass into the title contention. Look here, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of Charlotte bouncing and then comes back and then always in the title contention. Why? There are so many other people in the locker room. Why do she gets bounced in front of the head of the line? Why?
Her name.
Forget her name. I understand. She's a Flair. 14 times. They're trying to make her beat her dad's record. I think that's what it is because when she gets the belt, they give her the Sasha Banks treatment. She don't hold it that long. What's the point of giving it to her if you're going to make her lose it? So I just don't get WWE. Why? You have Charlotte take this time off for her to come back and finish where she left off at. Why does she get to go jump in the front of the line? Bianca has the right to be upset.
Well,
we're going to see a heel turn soon because it's coming.
Oh yeah, it's coming. You know why she really came back, right? Because Andrade's going to be on what is the name of it? Collision. AEW Collision, so they ain't got time to hang out no more. Andrade got to go back to work.
They got to go back to work, babe. I guess I'll go back to work too. Let me get in the title contention. That's me coming back to work.
So it means the Faction Ingobernable should be on Collision then. This whole squad.
We'll see how Collision is. We're going to get into that too because that is this week. CM Punk. Mm-hmm. But that's what happened on SmackDown. That's my rant. That's my Charlotte rant. We got a whole bunch of other people that could fight Asuka. Why Charlotte? That's my only thing. Who says her last name? It's because they don't have nobody else they want to get a belt to. I don't know, but what's your rant tonight, sir?
So I have multiple rants. So we'll start off. My first rant is the titles. The titles in WWE have become so bland and so blah. What happened to the days of unique titles, right? What happened to the days of women have one sort of title separate for the men, signifying the women versus the men? Laziness is what's happened. They can only run 2 or 3 quality stories, and they have no ability to do anything with championships nowadays. We used to have the Undisputed Championship. We used to have the Big Gold, right? We had the Divas Championship at one point. The championship was good. The way they did it was trash, but the championship itself, it was a nice belt. You had the old Women's Championship. You had so many great belts. You had the light heavyweight. The tag team belts were actually decent, except for those that looked like pennies. Those were horrible. But you had so many great championships, right? And now we're reduced to men and women have the same belt. One's black, one's white, strap, same belt. That's what people like because that's going to show equality. It does not show equality. It shows that you're just saying being lazy and saying, "Hey, we've got women, we got men's belts. Let's just make women's belts the same." The names lazy. You could have been way more creative. This whole process has been garbage. Now, question for the WWE: when are you going to do something with the undisputed tag team championships? Why does Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn still have those belts? We're doing all the streamline and all this fixing stuff. What are you going to do to fix that? Because honestly, truthfully, I'm sorry to say this. I know everybody loves Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Why do they get to be the only people that's on both shows every week? Why do I have to keep seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? These are not two entertaining people on a long-term basis. They're great. You put them on one show, you see them once a week. You start seeing these two guys twice a week. Kevin Owens acting a fool, blowing his top. Sammy running behind Jimmy or Jey Uso saying, "Hey man, I told you, man, don't trust the bloodline. I told you guys." How much more of this do we have to deal with? That's the worst part of this whole bloodline angle is Sami Zayn at this point. Because you've taken his character, made him nothing but a little smug jerk that we don't need when it comes to the bloodline. He's not fighting them anymore because he's on a different show. But he still shows up on the same show, but he doesn't involve himself at all. So what's the point? What's the basis? WWE, clear up the storylines and get us some better belts in the future. Please.
That was your only rant?
That was not the only one.
I was about to say, okay. Rant number 2.
Rant number 2. AEW. Who on God's green earth is going to beat Orange Cassidy for the International Championship? Who? Because he's ran through the whole roster. So we had the perfect opportunity on Wednesday to allow Isaiah Swerve Strickland to beat him. Swerve has his backup. You had the perfect opportunity. Orange Cassidy is hurt. You put the belt on another guy and help him become a star. How are you the leader of a faction and you don't even have a championship? And AEW has like 40 championships. So come on, you got to get these things right. You got to make things make sense. Don't fall into the WWE thing where people have to be champion for 6 months, 2 years, and all that. It's okay for Orange Cassidy to lose. Orange Cassidy is cool in small doses. His act is getting old. You know, if you don't get a belt with Swerve, you're gonna have to what? You're gonna bring Miro back. Miro's gonna get the belt. Like someone has to take this belt off of Orange Cassidy. Walking around with the belt in the book bag and going, it's cool for a little bit. It's been too long. I mean, he's not a dominant performer. He's not a guy that's gonna ever be AEW champion. Right. At least unless there's a big character change. So let's start building up guys who are going to move to the next levels and stop wasting the time on Orange Cassidy. I'm sorry. He's a great novelty act, like I said, but he's been champion for long enough. You had a battle royal, perfect chance to take the belt off him. Of course he can't lose. You had the last guy to get eliminated in Strickland, have a one-on-one match with him. Of course he can't lose. He could probably be beat down in the back, shot, stomp a mud hole and walk him dry, shanked, and he still come out and win the match and then pass out. At some point, you got to do a better job. He's not Super Cena 2.0. Let's stop this and let's get back on course, AEW, with that. Other than that, I'm pretty okay with everything AEW does, but this whole international championship, we got to do something about this. It's time to move that belt on to other competitors.
And you had the third one, or you just had 2?
I'm just going to stop with 2 now and see how time permits.
So AEW, trying to see what happened last week. I know they had a trios match. So Sammy Guevara returns tomorrow night. So we should see the return of the Spanish God. He'll come back. I know TK. Did they announce? Did he gonna announce the main event on Collision tomorrow?
Yes.
So that definitely should be interesting. I know we got MJF versus Adam Cole. That is going to be tomorrow night, and that is going to be for the AEW World Championship elimination match. We got Jake Hager versus Wardlow, TNT Championship. We got our guys, the BCC, taking on Hangman Page and the Young Bucks. Guevara comes back. Tony Storm versus Sky Blue. And we got the Mobile Embassy versus Darby Allin, Sting, Orange Cassidy, and Keith Lee. Jesus Christ, he really do look old. They make him look bald and all. Why they do my man like that? Look at that.
They didn't make him look bald, man.
Look at that. They really make him look old. So it should be a good matchup. But I'm looking forward to that MJF and Adam Cole match. Definitely that was a good promo they did last week. Talk about this match that's coming up.
So I want to say this is Adam Cole from NXT that we're starting to see. He basically forced MJF to give him a championship match, right? And the mind games he played with him was amazing. Because MJF, he comes out, he talks trash. He starts off, you were his favorite growing up. This is for everybody. Sorry, y'all. And then after that, you get to the point of, but that guy's not here anymore. You're weak and you're little and blah, 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 blah. Let's gloss over the fact that Adam Cole has been out for months. He had injuries that we thought were going to force him to retire. I like this Adam Cole. He's got a little bit of edge. He plays mind games. He's mean. That's what we saw for the whole thing with Chris Jericho. He'll get dirty and nasty with you too. I think this is a perfect match. Adam Cole cannot win this match, but he has to look good in this match. You have to keep building the devil. And the Triple B has to stay around the devil's waist because he's irrelevant without it. So this is the perfect kind of thing for him. At some point, we all know what this has got to build to. We've got to get Punk MJF for the AEW Championship. We have to get that at some point. But I like this as a next challenger for MJF after the triple threat because you basically knocked out the top three contenders in one fell swoop. So let's see when Sammy Guevara comes back. Are we going to get a character tweak for Sammy Guevara? I really need you out of the JAS, bro. Like, you have no reason to be the Jericho Appreciation Society. You need to branch out and do your own thing. You need to get the TNT Championship. Maybe you could finally get the International Championship off Orange Cassidy. Somebody needs to. Please. AEW, Tony Khan, if you're watching this, please. Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, anybody, please. Help the fans. Help us. We need you.
That would definitely be interesting. Of course, the BCC still got some work to do. Still fighting the Bucks and Hitman Page, so that's always going to be a banger. Can't wait to see what the two matches are going to be like Collision. CM Punk's going to be there. Mero. Kind of like the split. I mean, it kind of like, got Dynamite, got Collision, just how they got Raw and SmackDown. NXT, they got Ring of Honor. So we can see some more matches and possibly feuds. What are you most excited about Collision of seeing?
Honestly, Miro. Miro's gimmick, really, I love this gimmick. He was God's favorite, then he was God's forsaken, and then it was his neck, and God gave him a weak neck, and then he was the Avenger and everything. So I want to see him continue along those lines. And, I'd love to see him bring in his wife with him as well. That would be cool. But I definitely want to see what Miro does. I think he's a guy that has always had the potential to be a top star, but he's never really had the opportunity. I think this split is a perfect situation for him. I also want the same belts. I don't want two different sets of belts for AEW, but I want the champions to be able to go to both shows. I'm fine with that. That's what I'd like. for them to do. I don't want to get into the whole WWE thing where you got an AEW championship, then you got a world championship, and then you got a TBS championship, and then you got like a NBC championship, and you got TNT, and you got CBS, like whatever. We don't need all that. Just continue to let the champions go between the shows, and you can have matches between guys on both shows, but for the most part, stick to the show that you're on. But you can show up on the other show from time to time. That's what makes it, cool and special. When you have, you're only on one brand, and then you show up on the other brand. It's like, what are you doing? Like AJ Styles showed up on Raw last week. What? Why?
Yeah, because he's a free agent. Nobody picked him up.
No, actually, he isn't a free agent. Remember? They picked the whole group to SmackDown.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So he just randomly showed up on Raw from SmackDown because he lost. He shouldn't even been in the finals of a tournament to crown a champion for Raw. You don't compete on Raw. What was that even all about? Your stories don't even make sense sometimes, WWE. Now, AEW, learn from those things. You don't have to say, you can only compete on one brand, but this is your home show. You can anybody can meet. You've got Rampage. So anybody can be on Rampage because it's not brand specific. Don't forget, AEW also has the Ring of Honor shows. So they have a lot of shows. So it made sense that they were grabbing up so much talent. But we got guys like Samoa Joe, talked about Miro, CM Punk. Some of these people are going to be specific just to that Thunder Rosa. So it's going to be exciting how the split goes completely. The main event, the rosters may have been announced, but I haven't seen the full confirmed rosters yet. But those are the type of things that we need to get to and that we need to see that we haven't seen so far. Guys getting opportunities. Now, from what I've heard, they're not going to be doing Elevation and Dark anymore because they're doing Collision, which of course makes sense. Shows that are only on like YouTube and streaming, or shows that are on the actual network. You want to get that second 2-hour show on the network and then a 1-hour show on Friday. So now you're getting 5 hours of AEW a week. And I'm going to say to anybody that's listening, that 5 hours of AEW is going to be better than the 5 hours of WWE you're getting. The 2 hours of WWE are going to be better on Friday night. Those 3 hours on Monday, I watch the replay later on when it's over so that I can fast forward through the nonsense. Mm-hmm. And it makes my day so much better. WWE gives you about an hour of good content on Monday. It's a 3-hour show. You got to be better than that.
It's that first hour, and then when that third hour comes, you're like, oh my god, it's dragging. But they do have 2 matches set up. It's a trios match. CM Punk and FTR versus Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Samoa Joe. That should be interesting for Collision. That's the only one I believe that they have set up.
The Gun Boys, try to be PG here. What about the Booty Boys? The Booty Boys was helping out Bullet Club Gold, so maybe they're going to be part of Bullet Club Gold.
Not possibly. The Booty Boys. I can't. That is funny. That's the PG version. That is hilarious.
Yes, the Booty Boys.
Oh man. Yeah, but I am excited to see who is on there. I don't know. Did they announce the roster?
And AEW has a lot of good women too, right? So it'd be great to get a new show to give them a little bit more shine as well. Let's see if they've done anything here.
Trying to see if they said who was going to be on there. Because
all right, so the last article on here was he hasn't drawn any hard lines yet.
Okay.
So he hasn't locked them into any type of roster split, but I know there are some athletes that are gonna be specifically on Collision with like CM Punk, but I don't think he's announced an actual roster. Well, I've got Andrade too. Will be on, of course, featured on this show.
Right, and then he's going to announce the 2 matches for Collision as well. We already got one. He's going to announce more matches. So I'm definitely excited to see what Collision. Definitely might have to watch AEW tomorrow. To see what's going down, especially with that Adam Cole and MJF match. That's going to be match of the night for me. But But you already said CM Punk. About to say, who's going to take the belt off of MJF?
I think that's a good possibility. But if we're really doing it, if we're really doing long-term storytelling, there's only one person that can take the belt off of him, and that's Wardlow.
Interesting. That'll be dope.
That's who needs to take the belt off of CM Punk. 6 months, 8 months from now, maybe 10 months from now. MJF needs a long reign so that losing the belt means something, and it'll build him up to be the number one heel in AEW if he holds that belt for 10 more months, 8 to 10 more months. Losing it, that would be great for Wardlow. It takes him from being a hunter, where he's been most of his career, even as the man, I think is TNT champion. And also, I mean, is it just me, or do we really need a TNT and a TBS champion?
Oh God!
Right, the belts make sense as far as the belts, but
right.
You get confused. I watch the show weekly and everything. I get confused. Which ones is the man? Which one's the women? Right, TBS and TNT.
Yes, the women's.
Yeah, the TBS is the women's, but when you're thinking about it, it's like TB is the women, TN is the man. Like,
right, they did TBS because it moved to Dynamite moved to TBS, and then they had TNT because they're on TNT, I believe.
Right.
For those
but I'm just saying, you didn't really need to name them that. I guess is where my issue is.
You know what I'm saying? Television title. Remember television title way back when?
Yeah, men's and women's TV titles. Crazy idea. Something that makes sense. Some heritage in the wrestling industry. Why would we do something like that? Just saying. I mean, I've been a little critical tonight, I will admit, but a lot of things just, in the words of Peter Griffin, been grinding my gears lately.
All right, so we're going to get into Impact. Cool, that is all you. Because I admit I do not watch Impact Wrestling. So what's going on in Impact?
So of course we have Trinity there. She's still doing a review.
Oh my God. I just thought when she moved over, like she'd get a whole revamp.
She's still doing the whole glow thing. A little different, but it's still the same thing. But if you've watched Impact, Ring of Honor throughout the years, you've heard the tag team of Motor City Machine Guns. So that's Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. They've been teaming together separate for years.
Appreciate you, David Burns, for tuning in.
Cedar Hills, what's going on, David? But so for the first time ever, Alex Shelley has won major individual gold, the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. He won it off of the former champion. And then also Chris Sabin, who was the other half of the tag team, won the X Division Championship same night. So I think it's kind of cool that you kind of have that throwback, like the first time I'm sure in the history of Impact that a former tag team or tag team, both wrestlers have won the top two men's championships, in the same pay-per-view. So just a cool thought about Impact. I know we don't talk about Impact as much, and I know the reason why I get it, but just thought that was a cool something for those who've really been paying attention and watching Impact and some of the other smaller shows for years, because I know the Motor City Machine Guns have competed as a tag team across a lot of the different promotions. So them each being a champion is great, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I'm just like, what Impact? That was one I couldn't get into. I don't know if it was the ring. That threw me off at one point. But David chimes in and he says, yes, I'm so glad to see Trinity Impact. I heard of the Motor City Machine Guns. They have been a hot tag team lately.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time. But yeah, Impact. There was a lot of different like iterations of Impact when it was TNA and everything. Um, so it was kind of hard at times. They put on some good shows, but some of the booking just was not there. Some of the interest was not there, but they've done well. So David, they actually are having a title run just individually. They're another X Division champion, and Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley is now the world champion in Impact. So they both are champions in Impact, not together, but hey, there may be an interesting dynamic. You could add them also with a tag team and go, and they could be like the two-man power trip. Excuse me. What up, NBA Cipher?
What's up, Mo? Appreciate you.
Appreciate you
Appreciate
stopping
you.
through. Yes, 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 yes. And Impact also has, if you watched it for a while, another tag team, another group has reformed, and it's OVO. So if you know, you know. If you don't, go research it.
Bear money.
Haha,
Bear money was a good. I do
beer
know bear money.
money.
um, you know what? You know, I'm not. You know what music I want to hear, but he's probably in catering somewhere too. Glorious, yo, Robert Roode, man. That was. I'm telling you, all the people in NXT that I loved is just they come up to the main roster and just flatline.
Vince does that to him. Bobby Roode's been out injured. Apparently, he should be coming back soon. I read an article about that like a week ago. They're debating on what his role is going to be when he returns. See, we don't have a good upper mid card right now
Yeah,
in WWE.
because Dolph is they got him in catering too.
Yeah, Dolph, he gets beat. The only matches he wins is matches that don't matter.
Like
I
Ziggler
wouldn't
is
mind
so
seeing the Dirty Dogs
underrated.
back, though. Yeah, all time underrated team. I wouldn't mind seeing the Dirty Dogs back though.
Yeah. Um. I mean, I know they broken up Shinsuke and Rick Boogs, but it's just not the same. And plus, it ain't the same with
Pat McAfee.
McAfee
Yeah.
there. He really went off on Shinsuke's music. Um, but question, going back to Raw, what do you think about the open challenges like Seth is doing? Does it mean like they don't have nothing creatively done? So they just say, okay, open challenge, or what do you think?
They backed themselves into this corner. Remember when they were announcing the belt? Oh, this is going to be a fighting champion. It's going to be someone that's not scared to put the belt on the line. So now they're trying to force that into the story. So here's the truth of it: Roman Reigns defends the belt once about every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
All Seth Rollins has to do is actually defend the championship at every pay-per-view. It may be one Raw every once in a while. And he's already dominated what Roman Reigns does. You don't have to go this route, but Triple H set this up with the whole this champion is not going to be scared to defend the belt, and they're going to defend it at any time. So I listened to what they say, and when he said that, I was like, they're going to screw this up too. And until they get the belt off Seth, they're going to screw this up.
How long you think Seth gonna have that title?
He's got to have it at least 4 months. He's got to have it long enough to build it up to the point where it means something. Whoever the first champion was, I don't care if it was Mustafa Ali, whoever the first champion was, they had to have this belt for at least 4 months. It's the only way you can build it up.
It's only June, and I can't wait till Survivor Series because you know why? I'm going. Survivor Series is in Philly, and I get to see another pay-per-view in person. And guess what? Only guys pay one ticket because I'm the only one that's going to be going. I get to treat myself and sit close.
And I am going to be going to WrestleMania next year, which is awesome.
Oh, you know, I'm planning to be there too. I'm going to be in somebody. I don't care how high I am in Lincoln Financial Field. I'm going to be in a building somewhere. So
one of my many trips to the city of brotherly love next year.
So that's I don't know. Usually day one's usually better than night two. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Do I want to see day 1 or day 2, and maybe a Raw?
I think I'm definitely going to day 2 and Raw.
So I'm gonna see
So
Enzo and
David
Cass.
asks,
Yes, Enzo and Cass.
Big
Wait.
Bill is kind of, he's doing his thing in AEW.
Yeah. My
And
name
Enzo's
is Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that.
that music was the best though. You softy sloppy. They called me Poppy. That was good. That was good.
Right here, this is Big Cass, and he is 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. That's when I got Jalen doing that. Like he really did that. Like he used to do Enzo really, really good. Like how he come out, and I had his music, and he would come out just like it was hilarious. He was like he had to be about 8. It was hilarious. That's when he used to watch wrestling, but now he don't watch it no more.
Yeah, it is what it is.
See, like he was a Cena guru, Group B. He turned. He got the Cena headband. He had the wristband. He had the bag. He had no. He had Darren Sproles on his cake that year. But we was trying to get him a John Cena cake. He didn't want John Cena. But yeah, Enzo and Cass was a good. Like all the good tag teams are going,
except for your boys, the New Day.
The New Day.
They ain't the same without Big E.
It's not. And Kofi always hurt.
Mm-hmm. And then we do got the we need back. We need the prime time players. That's what we need back.
Yeah. What they used to say? Dang, what did they do? That was the one
money,
thing.
Money.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
money. Yeah. Yeah, we need them back. Might as well do another reincarnation of World's Greatest Tag Team. You got Shelton Benjamin.
Right. So
we always got
millions of dollars. Right. That's what it was. Millions of
dollars. They did the money at the end, but yeah, the phrase was millions of dollars. Yes, that was it.
So one tag team will protect you, the rest will try to kill you. Who are you taking? So you have the Legion of Doom, you have the Dudleys, we got Anvil and Brett, Harlem Heat. I can't tell who this is. Then you got the Nasty Boys, you got Matt and Jeff, and then you got the Steiners.
The tag team that you can't tell who it is. Describe them.
The two after Harlem Heat. Have no clue who they are.
Demolition.
Oh.
Is that what you're talking about?
Could be it, yeah. And the one in the middle.
That looks like maybe Edge and Christian. That's Demolition on the end.
You know what? Could be.
I'm gonna go with the Harlem Heat.
Yes. I said the same damn thing.
Somebody that ain't down with fruit booties, and then you can dig that sucker. That's what got my back.
Now, can you dig that? You know who was missing from this list? That if they would have had them on this list, I would have went with them hands down. Freaking the APA. You can't tell me that Bradshaw and Farouk back in the APA wasn't the shit when they was doing the protection. Damn.
Yes, I would 100% agree. Got to go with Harlem Heat though. With that list, got to go with Harlem Heat.
Yeah, definitely. Stevie Ray and Booker T. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing about Harlem Heat. Harlem Heat was my tag team in WCW.
And for you Dominic Mysterio fans, Booker T really did time in jail.
Yes, he really did.
Yeah, they said it looks like John Morrison. I hope they wouldn't try to do Miz and Morrison because that would be terrible.
Or was it Mercury and Morrison? Even still, after the Hardys damn near broke damn near killed Jerry Mercury. You ain't see no hair from him ever again in that ladder match.
But
Like
all you
they
got
don't
to
even.
do stop the Hardys is throw out some tables.
Devon, get the tables.
You know, they'll cancel each other out. The Dudley Boys and Hardys will start fighting anyway.
Somebody said the Bushwhackers. No.
Definitely not the Bushwhackers. All they want to do is lick your face.
But one of the Bushwhackers did pass away though. But I'm mad they didn't have APA on that list. I feel upset. Like you lead them
I was
off.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, maybe I can that person that you can't tell. Maybe they're the APA. It's definitely not the APA.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
I was hoping.
Look, I'm looking through the comments on Twitter, and everybody was like, "Where's the APA?" Like how you just not put them on there? I'm gonna add them as an honorable mention. Like how do
And
you?
how you don't put the longest reigning tag team champions in the modern era?
Jimmy and
Why
Jeff?
we can't go to the USO penitentiary? Yeah, why we can't go to the USO penitentiary?
Welcome. They done been through so many like gimmicks. Like could you? I remember when they first got there. They doing they chant in the Tamina, and the face paint. Then they went to when I say ooh, you say yeah.
Oh, ooh, so
Then they went through the welcome to the USO Penitentiary,
that
which
was the
that
best
was a
one.
good though. That was good.
Yeah, that was great.
And now we stuck at we the ones.
We may not be the ones anymore.
I
Roman said no.
know.
Roman said no. Why he sound like when he said it, he sounded like Prince or from Dave Chappelle show. No.
I know.
Blouse.
No.
No.
So Roman will be back next week. So let's see what Roman's going to say or do.
He's gonna call out Jay and try to physically intimidate him into rejoining the bloodline. I think Jay gonna snap and just go off on his own and be like, forget all y'all.
Yep. Forget you. You cool. Forget you.
Mm-hmm.
I
Because he's
see.
gonna, he
I see
already said.
Jimmy and Solo fight.
Well, you got to remember, Paul. He already told Paul Heyman, if I come back, you out.
Yep. Question: how long was? Yeah, we just said that. Cool. You said
Right
what?
before you got on.
Right
I think
before
about
you came in the chat, we actually were just talking about that. But
it's
you
got
said
to be a
about 15
minimum.
months.
It's got to be a minimum of 4 months. I'd say somewhere between like 4 to 6 months minimum. The only reason I don't say longer is we getting, championship longevity burnout with WWE. Everybody's holding their championships forever. We got to move them around a little bit sometimes. Gunther's had his belt for a while. Austin Theory, best chance for him to lose it. You don't take that. So at some point, like he got to move some of these championships to other people because it starts to get stagnant. I really don't care about Roman Reigns being the undisputed WWE champion anymore because you've had it for too long.
Roman now only has one belt now. It's just one, but I agree he does need to get that belt taken
Still
off.
calling it the undisputed WWE undisputed champion, which is stupid.
Yeah, so they unified all the belts now. Seth and Rhea Ripley's belt both look the same. It's just one's black, one white. Same thing with the women's and men's. It's they all the same.
And then it's trash. And just to spell that is Trayche, trash. That's what that is.
So here is get y'all good. So this is the women's belt. There you go. Looks just like Steph's belt, except it's white.
So why did we not allow Rhea Ripley to have a Judgment Day special edition women's championship? Why did we do that?
And here's what I was gonna say here's what Seth's belt looks like. And here is Asuka, and the belt looks just like Roman's, except it's white.
The white and gold does not look that good. Huh. David says Austin Theory needs to keep his United States title. He's
He's
new
the
Miz
new
now.
Miz. A-Town down.
Oh, dang. The only thing about it is, I think at some point he's going to have to challenge Roman Reigns or whoever's going to be the WWE champion at that time. So at some point, you got to get the United States Championship off of him because it's supposed to be like the belt to help you grow. So at some point, he's going to be at that point where it's like, all right, you've grown as much as you can with that partner. If we want to move you up some more, you got to challenge. And there's no point in holding on to that when he's going to challenge for the big belt.
Yeah. But I would not, see who gets the U.S. And pretty much here is Romans, and all they doing is recycling the table because The Rock had that table too.
That table was used for all 4 of the championship presentations.
Yep, sure enough was.
If it ain't broke,
It was undisputed WWE Universal Championship. That's what it's called.
Stupid.
So I'm sure Roman's going to beat, if he didn't already do it, I think Bruno's first title reign, not the one after that, because the one he had after that was damn near 3 years.
We might get that.
Oh my God.
Roman Reigns might be champion from now until we're like Gray. He might be coming out there with his walker. Talk about we acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me. I want to see someone new from NXT to take. Yeah, Braun Breaker could be the guy to get the US.
I want to see him take out Gunther so bad.
They was talking about Dragunov possibly coming to Imperium, and then something goes wrong in Imperium, and he fights Gunther for the IC, and
they turn on Gunther.
Yeah,
and then
he definitely wouldn't be bad. I mean, out of the tag teams, Imperium is my favorite. Ludwig Kaiser and Benji, and Gunther. I know they had a 4th one, but that's what they're looking for. Or they was talking about not was it JD? No, JD McDonough was supposed to go somewhere else. Judgment Day. So, but we'll definitely see what's going on next week. Our guy Chase will be back. I may or may not be on. The Brawling Brutes are on SmackDown. They just fought on SmackDown. I forgot who they just fought, but they need to hurry up and change Butch's name. They didn't change everybody else's name. What's the holdup?
Pretty Deadly. That's who they fought.
Yeah. Can we get them back to being Pete Dunne? Everybody else got their name changed.
So apparently the ladder match is supposed to be the catalyst from what I've been reading for him to revert to Pete Dunne and be the Bruiserweight again.
Got you.
But he need to put a little bit of weight back on because he was a little bit, bigger back in the day.
Yeah.
He's like a featherweight now.
Right. But he still twists them fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Still twists them fingers. But next week, Chase will be back. I may or may not be on next week. I don't know. I might be still recovering from my birthday weekend. But that is an hour for us in the books. David, appreciate you for popping in. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, same channel, 9:30, only on the Sports Empire Network. Tune in tomorrow morning. We're back at it with the Coffee and Sports Morning Show. And I believe then we got Wire to Wire at 7. And then right after Wire to Wire, we got 2 guys in Hockey Talk, and they will break down the Stanley Cup Finals. It looks like we're going to be partying in Vegas because the Golden Knights are up 6-1. And they will be partying tonight because they will bring their first Stanley Cup championship to Vegas as well. At least somebody in Vegas is winning, and not them stinking ass Raiders. But anyway.
You mean Like the Denver Nuggets parade on Thursday.
Like the Denver Nuggets. I'm sure if there's going to be a party, my man Jake will be down in Vegas partying up with the Golden Knights. And it's at home too, and a home T-Mobile Arena is already going to be rocking. But make sure y'all come on back again Tuesday nights, the Line in the Sands. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all have not already done it. We're on YouTube as well. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, not Apple Music, Amazon Music, Spotify, for all the audio, so you can listen to us again in the car or when you in the gym or whatever. You can listen. Tell Alexa, hey, play the Lines in the Sand podcast. She'll pop up. Leave us a review. Let us know what we're doing, what you want to see. But we're going to get on out of here. For Cool, McCain, and those Denver Nuggets, I am Key, and I'm always in the building. And we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
You know what else? We want the smoke.
Right. We want the smoke. Denver wants all the smoke. And they definitely gonna get it because I got them. They favors the repeat. But anyway, we gonna get on out of here, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Have a good night.
Acknowledge us.